Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Viv Business Builders Training. It's good to see you guys. Happy New Year. We're going to get it kicked off this year in an amazing way. We're going to do a little bit of mindset training today, a little bit of network marketing methods of operation, and just really get you guys set up good for 2021. So welcome to the Business Builders Training. And before we get going here, I really want to talk about wealth building in general, right? Wealth is going to be 95% mindset. Right? It's 95% mindset and it's only 5% of what you do. So obviously we're working here together in the Viv business model, but in general, wealth building is 95% mindset and only 5% what you do. And I'll give you guys some examples here. If you're looking at this picture, you can see here that these stock traders, right? They're trading stocks just like thousands of other stock traders on the New York Stock Exchange. And you could be like them, or you could be like Warren Buffett. You really think about that. He's in the same industry, right? Same industry, but different mindset. Different mindset. You know, you could be in the real estate industry. Some of you might even be realtors, and you could be in that industry. Or you could be like Grant Cardone, right? He's also in real estate now. He's a real estate investor, but the idea is it's just a different mindset in the same vertical. And everybody here, you know, we're in the network marketing industry, right? Viv is a network marketing company, and there's about 150 or 160 million network marketers globally. And it could be like these people here at the GoPro Mastery, or you could be like my friend Alex here, who's coming up on $2 million a month in the same exact industry that we're all in here, right? So when I talk about mindset, it's so important to wealth building, really to everything in your life, whether it's your physical fitness, your wealth building, your relationships. So we're going to do a little bit of mindset training, and I also want to get you guys really understanding the industry. Very important, especially if you're new, to understand the industry that we're in. And the network marketing industry is not a small industry; it's a profession, right? There's over $200 billion a year in products and services are moved in the network marketing industry. I want you to really think about that as you're reaching out to people, telling them about your home-based business. This is not a kid's game. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's almost as big as Amazon, right? And there's more millionaire network marketers made every single day in network marketing than there is in real estate, right? Really think about that. A lot of people are in real estate, but there's more millionaire network marketers than there are millionaire realtors around the world. And in Viv, we're very blessed to have a recession-proof home-based business. Think about that. When you're talking to people, you really want to know what you're bringing to the table, what you're sharing with them. This is recession-proof. This is COVID-proof, right? A lot of people got laid off from COVID, over 60 million people and counting, and they had what they thought were stable jobs or stable careers, but it's not recession proof. It wasn't COVID proof. So we're very blessed to have something that's recession proof. And the reason why I talk so highly about the network marketing industry is this industry, I mean, it really gave me everything, right? Learning the skills and the tools and public speaking and teaching and coaching and training, it helped me build my other business. It helped me take my construction company from 1 million to 10 million in 12 months, just from understanding the industry and learning, how to public speak and how to teach and coach and train. And I also met Bob Proctor through this industry, right? So I cannot say enough about the network marketing industry, how much of like a gateway business opportunity it is, how it kind of like entry level entrepreneurship, right? And there's a science behind wealth building. This is one of the things that's very blessed, again, to meet Bob Proctor through the network marketing industry and learn a lot about the mind, right? The conscious, the subconscious, the body. And we teach people to think and act and operate like the 1%, like the world's wealthiest 1%. Now, wealth has very little to do with money. It's one small piece of it, but really understanding wealth is being able to create a life that you don't need a vacation from. That's really what wealthy living is. It's coming and going as you please. It's earning, as much money as you need to be free. And it's really just living at what I call a heavenly life. So we're going to teach you here to learn to think like the 1%. And again, this industry led me to so many other things, right? It helped me scale my construction company. It helped me create a software company, a gaming company, clothing company. And it also, understanding mindset helped me to become the number 2 income earner in the company, right? So when you understand mindset, and it has very little to do with me, I'm more illustrating what happens when you take a little bit of time to train in your mind, to train in understanding mindset, right? So again, I can't say enough about the industry itself. And it's important that you guys understand at least a little bit about the industry, because when you're presenting it, the question mark to people is not going to be Viv. like lowering people's bills, I mean, that makes sense, right? The question mark is always going to be network marketing. What is that? What is that business? What is this side thing you're doing? It's like, and people are going to have a preconceived notion about what that is. They're going to say, oh, my friend was in Amway, or my uncle was in this business. And they're going to have a story of somebody who was not a professional, right? And because network marketing is so easy to get into, it's usually a couple of $100s. A lot of people have tried it, but almost nobody in network marketing is professionals. And it's the same thing with real estate. Almost nobody in real estate are true professionals, but the ones that are, the ones that study their industry and study their craft, they treat it like a profession. I mean, the sky's the limit, like, right? So I was in Vegas over the GoPro network marketing recruiting mastery there. And I was hanging out with people making a $500,000, $1 million, $2 million a month. And some of these people weren't even 30 years old yet. So there is a professional side to what we're doing. And most global thought leaders actually recommend network marketing as a starter business, right? If you're not, the next creator of Facebook, if you don't have that idea, network marketing is a gateway or an entry into business, right? So most global thought leaders actually recommend network marketing to build initial wealth. This is where you can learn leadership, public speaking, teaching, coaching, training, and you can learn it all for free while you're earning income. I want you to really think about that. When you go to school, I went to mechanical engineering school, right? That was 4 years of my life, and you don't earn until you're done. Like there's no chance of earning as a mechanical engineer until you graduate. So 4 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you don't get to earn while you're learning. Well, in network marketing, we get to earn from day one, and you're learning all the way. So what I would say to you guys, if you're new into the industry, is to look at your Viv career like a 4-year career, like you're going to college, right? Year one, your freshman year, you're going to learn a little bit, you're going to earn a little bit, and you're going to build and grow, right? And then your second year, you learn more, you get a business going, sustainable business, and it starts to grow and grow and grow. If you really look at this and give this a 4-year shot and commit to the education, the sky's the limit. I mean, there's just story after story after story of people that stuck with the industry that are earning, 5, 6, even 7 figures a month, right? And again, guys, you're going to get paid while you're learning. So if you can shift your perception on what we're doing here, don't give this a 4-week shot. Give this a 4-year shot, right? Or at least a 12-month shot, and commit to the education. Commit to showing up for Tuesdays and Saturdays. Have a business plan. We're going to show you a little bit about that as well. Then you're going to find it's very rewarding. So, guys, I want you to think about this on this next slide, right? 96% of the world's wealth is earned by 1% of the population. I want you to really think about this. This is not something that I made up. This is a fact, right? 96% of the world's wealth is earned by 1% of the population. And you got to think, well, why is this, right? Everybody goes to grade school, high school. Most people go to college. We go through the same system, but very, very few people, including myself for the first 40 years, ever really figure out how to build wealth, right? And the reality here is we're just simply not taught how to build wealth in school, right? When you're born, I mean, your parents probably weren't, educated in wealth building. Then we go to school and they don't know anything about wealth building. And we graduate from school and we get a job, and that's where most people really stop. They stop studying, they stop learning. But we're not taught decision making. We're not taught about self-image. We're certainly not taught wealth building. I could take a 15-year-old and teach them, how to save their pennies, go to work at a grocery store, save up some money, and, get a 3-family building, live in the bottom floor, rent out the 2 top spaces, and start to earn money by the time they're 18, right? So we're not even taught simple things like real estate. And we're definitely not taught about paradigms, right? We're not taught about what paradigms are. If you've never heard that term, paradigm is really just a fancy word we use to describe all of the mental programs that are stored in your subconscious mind that are controlling all of your habits. I want you to think about this. When you're born a blank slate. You have no programming. You don't even know how to speak or walk. And our parents do all the programming, right? Your environment does all the programming. You never chose to speak the language that you're speaking, right? Your native language. As we get older, some people choose to speak second languages, but initially, you never chose to speak that initial language. So think about that. We have all of these mental programs that are given to us from birth that are controlling all of our habitual nature. If you grew up in a family of smokers, then you probably smoked, right? If you grew up in a family of people that were healthy and active, you probably have those programs as well. So like I said, then we go to school and we learn a little bit of math, a little English, a little science, a little history, and we're taught to be really school teachers, but we're not taught wealth building. So I want you to think about this, because none of this is anybody's fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not your parents' fault or the school systems. It just is, right? You have a subconscious mind. We have all of these programs that are given to us. And if you're not given the programs of wealth building, then you never, right? Most people go to the grave never really having accomplished much of anything. But what we're doing here, we're going to give you a little bit of understanding and awareness, and especially with the Viv business model, so that you can grow that and you can earn an income and build it up, because everybody has the same opportunity here, right? You guys have the same opportunity I do. It's the same business model. So whether you're successful or not has nothing to do with Viv, and it has 100% to do with the person looking in the mirror, right? So your subconscious mind, it's very much like an operating system in a computer. It's a really good way to look at this, right? You have an operating system, you're born, and this operating system is blank. And then we install programs over time. That's what school does, and this is what our experiences do. Now, for the first time in your life, we can choose to install programs called wealth building. And that's what we're going to do in the second half of this presentation, is give you guys some very, very basic, simple things that you can do repetitively. And if you do those for all of 2021, when you look back next year from New Year's Eve, you're going to be in a much better place. All right. So we all have an operating system. We all have these programs. And if you look at this picture here, this little baby's learning to walk, right? And think about it. That's a program, right? You have mentors. Your parents hold your hand. They move your little feet. They teach you how to walk, and you learn to walk. Well, if you had grown up with Warren Buffett as your dad, right, you would have learned the program of wealth building. It's like another language. It's like learning Chinese or something, right? And if you look at this picture here, again, smoking it's a mental program. A lot of people think that smoking is a physical habit, and it is, but it's actually a mental program expressed physically. It's a mental program expressed physically. And we have all of these programs, like I've been saying, that are giving to us. And wealth building is just a series of programs, and anybody can learn to build wealth, right? We can teach this to anybody if you're open to it. And the beautiful thing about Viv is there's no limits, right? There's no income limits with Viv. You're going to get you're going to earn exactly what you're worth in Viv, and that's what's good about network marketing. People earn exactly what they're worth. So if you step up into leadership, if you build a team, if you help people, you're going to see your paycheck go up and up and up. So I love the network marketing industry because it's very much in harmony with the law of compensation. All right, guys. So wealth building is just a series of programs, and we're going to give you some of those here a little bit later. But I want you to think about, how we're born and understanding levels of awareness, right? Levels of awareness are really like frequencies on a radio station. You can tune into different frequencies, right? And $50,000 a year is just a level of awareness, right? And nobody's earning $50,000 a year because that's what they want to do. People earn that kind of money because that's what they're programmed to do, right? Even 100,000, 250,000, right? That's not a lot or a little. It's just an amount. And nobody's earning $250,000 a year because that's what they want to do. They're doing that because that's what they're aware of how to do. And I mean, usually at that kind of money, people get comfortable and they stop learning, right? And that they're earning a certain amount of money and they just kind of coast. But the reality is, if you were to ask somebody deep down, that's not what they want to do. That's what they're aware of how to do. All right. And the beautiful thing about Viv and network marketing in general, again, there's no income ceilings. Now, day one, you start off earning zero, right? So it's a different type of a program than a job. At a job, you start off earning whatever, 50,000 a year, and you get paid whether you're performing or not. In network marketing, that's not the case, right? In network marketing, you have to raise your level of awareness through study. And that's what the GoPro Mastery is. And Eric Worre's book, GoPro, right? When you start to learn about the industry, you start to learn the language, you can become very, very effective. Right. So if you're looking at this slide here, and you can see the income on the side, 1 million, even 5 million a year, that's not big or small. That's just a level of awareness. It's a place, it's a frequency, it's an understanding, right? And people earning 5 million a year or a month, they're not any better or any worse than you. They're just more aware of how to earn income, right? We have a dozen revenue streams and growing because I become very, very aware of how to earn money. And it doesn't make me any better or worse. It just makes me more aware. Does that make sense, guys? So I want you to think about this as you're taking your journey in 2021, because anybody can learn to raise their level of awareness. And the way to do that is through repetitive study, right? If you're looking at this slide and you can see these little bars going up and up, the way you raise your level of awareness is to study in your industry, right? You study in your mind, you study in your craft, your industry. Like I said, Eric Worre's GoPro or How to Win Friends and Influence People. You learn new phraseology and then you try. So you study and then do, and then study and then do. So the repetition part of that as we go through 2021 is exactly that. If you guys are committed to it, anybody can take the same journey I did. You can commit to learning the industry and then putting into practice. You reach out to people and then you try something, and then you get some feedback, and then you study some more, and then you try again. So it's a feedback mechanism. And you can see here over time, if you're doing this, you're going to raise your level of awareness and you'll see your income levels go up and up and up. Does that make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, because anybody can learn this stuff, right? And when I said 5 million a year, a lot of you might have kind of checked out a little bit, like, oh my God, 5 million a year. But there's no such thing as big or small, right? There's no such thing as big or small. A lot of my clients, I have clients make 5 million a month, right? And that's not an ego thing. It doesn't mean make them any better or worse. It just makes them more aware than the average person in building wealth. And when I talk about, income, and I say there's no such thing as big or small, I want you to think about this picture here, right? The earth itself is not big or small until you compare it to something like a golf ball or the universe. I want you to really think about that. So whatever your income goal, a lot of people have a 6-figure a month goal, right? If you could take your yearly income and make it your monthly income, that would change, most people's lives, right? So in 2021, I would suggest you guys to set a goal, something like that. If you don't have a goal, think about your yearly income and what would it be like to earn that per month? And that would be a goal that you could work with, right? I want to give you guys another example of levels of awareness. Again, if you look at this little picture here, you see this little baby, and this baby is born a blank slate, right? Brand new baby has no programs, no operating system, right? And they're just kind of a blank slate. And if you look at this, this is really symbolic of where you are right now, right? This is you at your current level of awareness or your current income. This is also me at my level of awareness, right? If I was to compare myself to Warren Buffett, right? I think he's worth, probably $110 billion, right? So he's more aware on how to earn income than I am. So this picture represents me too. And it's not good or bad. It's just a level of awareness, right? And again, look at this picture and think about when you were a little baby, 3 months old, right? Imagine if your parents put your clothes next to you when you were just born and said, okay, little baby, have at it, get dressed, right? That would have been impossible. We literally would have used the word impossible. You would not have ever gotten dressed. Like 1,000 out of 1,000 times, you weren't going to get dressed. So at some point in your life, everyone here, everybody on this webinar, you learned to do the impossible. You actually learned to dress yourself at some point through repetition over time. Now, the difference is when you're a baby, you don't have limiting beliefs about what's possible. But then when we grow up, we have all these programs, we compare ourselves, we get jobs, and you start to set up resistance points and really just different levels of awareness on what's possible and what you think is possible, right? And we do this with income. We start to think, boy, if I can only get the 6 figures a year, and that's like the target, right? So because people are thinking 6 figures a year, you're not thinking 6 figures a week or a day. You guys see the difference there? But if you really think about it, you look at this picture, at some point you learn to do the impossible. What I'm going to challenge you guys to do in 2021 is to strip away limiting beliefs on what's possible, right? Strip away limiting beliefs that were given you by other people on what's possible. And if you look at this picture here, I love this picture, right? This little baby is not accomplishing its mission, right? It's trying to eat. It's got the food all over the place. And it's basically failing, right? This is what we would call failure. But if you look at the baby's very, very happy, right? It's not upset. It's not like, oh my God, that person said no. There's no resistance, or there's no levels of awareness. There's no embarrassment. These are all programs that we get as we get older. And this picture here represents you trying, right? You're in Viv, you're in network marketing, and you're trying some things, and you're going to get some feedback. What I want to say to you guys is to not label that feedback as good or bad. Just enjoy the ride, right? Just enjoy the ride. We got to get back to like this picture here. Stop labeling things. Stop worrying if somebody says yes or no. None of that matters. It only matters that you do certain things in a certain way for 2021 if you want to be successful. And that's what I want to help you guys with. We're going to give you some methods of operation for 2021 that are going to help you guys. All right, but before we do that, I want you to look at this picture here and just understand, again, I want to break it down to the basics. Understand how you were born and how you were programmed, right? We're taught to look at our results. When we're born and we go through school and we go through society, we're taught to look at results. We look at the report card, we look at the current bank account, we look in the mirror, we look at our body, right? And we're looking at results to cause our thinking. And if you don't like your bank account and you don't like your body and you don't like your relationship, if you're not happy with these things, then this thinking is on a low vibration, right? And it causes our feelings. We wake up, we look at our job, we look at certain things, and it causes our feelings for the day. And again, if they're not satisfied or happy with where they're at, those feelings can be in a low vibration. And the word feeling, actually, you should translate that to mean vibration, right? If I say that I'm sad, what I'm really saying is that I'm in a low vibration mentally and physically. If you were to say you're excited, same thing. It would say I'm consciously aware that I'm in a high vibration. So I want you guys to think about this, right? We wake up, we're looking at our results. It causes the thinking. The thinking causes feelings or moods, right? Or vibrations. And again, if we're not satisfied with what's going on, this is where depression comes from. And these feelings cause actions, right? If somebody's waking up and they're not happy with their job, they're going to work in a low vibration, all pissed off, right? And it causes the actions for the day. And if you look at this loop, this is what Bob calls a self-fulfilling doom cycle, because we're looking at results to cause the thinking. What I want to challenge you guys to do in 2021, and actually forever, for the rest of your life, is to have new thinking, to lead your life with thinking instead of results. The only time we should ever look at results is if you want to recreate the results. I want you to think about that. I work with corporations all over the world, and when we teach them this, it really opens up their eyes, because most corporations, they look at last year to form this year's opinion of the numbers. And I said, well, why would you do that unless you're trying to recreate last year? And their jaws hit the floor, right? I said, no, we want to do new thinking. See, a lot of companies, they set goals of 5 or 10% growth, right? They would never set a goal of like 1,000% growth. And because they don't set those goals, they don't move in that direction. So when we work with people, whether it's individuals or corporations, we get them to have new thinking. That's what I want for you guys here. This is the same information I teach, like my high ticket clients, we teach corporations. Everything starts with new thinking, right? So what is your goal for 2021 in Viv? What is your goal? And don't say, P160, don't say pace setter. That's just, if you set a goal of pace setter, you're just setting a goal based on what you think you can achieve. What you want to do is stretch that thinking, because this new thinking, if you wake up in the morning and you get it in your mind and you look at your goal card, if you have a healthy obsession with this thinking every single day through 2021, it's going to cause new feelings or higher vibrations. It's going to put the body into motion, right? That's going to translate over the phone when you're talking to people, and you're going to have a lot of success. So this is how the 1% thinks. This is how we process information. We don't look at the results. We only look at what do we want and where we're going, right? And this is how Elon Musk is putting rockets on the moon, right? And looking to colonize Mars. He always has new thinking. And even when like Tesla was failing and all his companies were failing and SpaceX, he was blowing up rockets, he didn't change his thinking. He didn't lose track of that vision, right? So I want to teach you guys to think like the 1%. And the way we do it is we always have new thinking every morning. All right, guys, the other thing I'm going to give you here before we get into the network marketing mindset is to really understand who and what you are, the equipment you were born with, right? You have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind, and you have a body. And the body is an instrument of the mind. The body carries out the instructions of the mind. Now, since we're not taught this stuff in school, right, we're not given a blueprint, we usually have at least 20 years of what I call virus code programming, right? It's just pure ignorance. And they're teaching us a little math, a little science, a little history. They're not teaching you about the mind, about creation, about what's possible. And we're programmed to have worry and doubt about a lot of things. We fear the unknown. And what I want to say to you guys, instead of fearing the unknown, is to have faith in the unknown. I love change. I love the unknown. I love where things are going. I don't fear that, right? But most people actually fear, like, what if I lose my job? It's probably the best thing that would ever happen to you, right? It would force you into entrepreneurship. But since we're born in ignorance and we have worry and doubt, it creates fear in the subconscious mind. And that fear has to translate to and through your body into the physical form of anxiety. So if anybody here has ever had anxiety, this is why. This is how it happens. It comes from thought energy, right? Worry and doubt into fear, into the physical form of anxiety. So this is what happens in network marketing, right? Somebody starts in Vive, and this will happen for your new distributor. So it's important for you to understand. They get all excited, they start the business model, and the very next day they go to reach out to somebody and they start to worry about what this somebody is going to think about what they're doing. I want you to think about this, and even with yourselves, right? If you're slowing down in Vive, if you've kind of checked out, this is why. You're like, what are my friends going to think? Well, newsflash, your friends aren't thinking. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Most people are actually not thinking. Mental activity doesn't constitute thinking. So then we start to worry about what all these people are thinking, but they're not thinking. And I think you can see where this is going. It turns into kind of a, like I said, a self-fulfilling doom cycle. So what I want for you guys this year is to stop caring about what people think. You can't be concerned about what other people think about what you're doing in Vive or anything else for that matter. You just want to reach out to people very transparently and offer them a solution. And if they accept the solution, that's great. If they don't, that's on them. It's not on you guys. All right. So I want to help you guys to get on the right side of this chart through studying, understanding, and positive thinking. Right. There's only two ways to think: positive and negative. And people are like, what are you, just like thinking positive, like unicorns and rainbows all the time? What's the choice? Right? There's only two choices, positive and negative. So why not choose to always have positive thoughts, to always look at everything as good, to always be projecting what you want, right? And you can see here on this slide deck, studying and understanding leads to faith, it leads to well-being, it leads to a acceleration, right? A body in motion. This is what we call action. This is why I became like the top recruiter my first year in network marketing, because I was on this side of the equation. Now, truth be told, I didn't know anything about this material that first year. I was just in massive action, right? You see, sometimes people just take massive action. That's what I want for you guys. In 2021, I want you to disconnect from results, right? Disconnect. I don't care if you sign customers or people. I just care that you ask people, right? I just care that you ask them, are you open to taking a look at this business? Are you open to saving some money on your bills? And if you can just commit to that for all of 2021, you guys are going to be very, very successful. Now, guys, take a look at this picture here. I found this on the internet. This picture here, to me, it really represented what fear looks like, right? What fear looks like, what doubt looks like, what worry looks like. Take a look at this picture and imagine you're trying to reach out to somebody about your Vive business, but your mind looks like this. You're in a chaotic state. Your mouth is saying one thing, it's saying, hey, look at my business. But in your subconscious mind, you're in a chaotic state, right? You're like, oh my God, what if they say yes? What if they say no? What you're doing is you're putting out what we call a double binding message. Psychologists would call this a double binding message. It's where your conscious is saying one thing, but your subconscious is saying another thing. What we need to do in 2021 is get you guys to line up, right? To line up the conscious and the subconscious and understand what you have here with the Vive business model. And this picture here, if you guys don't know Alex, like I said, he just turned 31. He's earning a little bit over $2 million a month in the same industry you're in, right? Network marketing. But he doesn't have fear programs. He doesn't have doubt. He doesn't have worry. He doesn't care what you or I think, right? He just moves forward with purpose and faith. And this is what faith looks like. All right, guys. So that's the mindset portion of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. The second half of the training here, I really want to get into some very, very simple methods of operation, right? This is your daily habits, your daily and your weekly habits. And if you guys can do these three simple things, you're mathematically guaranteed to be successful. It's not opinion. We don't have to wonder if this is going to happen or not. The thing about Vive, I mean, who do you know that has a cell phone bill? Let that sink in for a minute. Who do you know that has a cell phone or internet? And would they like to pay less? Like, let's not overcomplicate this, right? So again, if you do certain things in a certain way, it's a mathematical certainty to be successful. So if you're studying for your mind, right? Books like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you're studying a little bit every day for your mind, and you're studying in your industry, that's the second thing. And I always suggest that you study Eric Worre's GoPro. It's a really, really good book. It's not even that thick. And it's like a 4-year degree in network marketing. And then you're taking daily measurable action. Daily measurable action. All right. And again, guys, some of the stuff for the mindset, if you guys are looking to study in your mindset, we actually have something called the Mindset Masters. If anybody here is interested or curious about this, we teach mindset every single day on Facebook. Little lessons, little 5 or 10-minute lessons every single day. We're teaching mental mastery. So you guys could connect with that. And again, when you're talking about network marketing, my personal favorite is Network Marketing Pro. If you go to the website, networkmarketingpro.com, and you register, Eric has more free information. He's got like years and years and years of free content. Obviously, they have information to sell as well, but he's just a master in the industry. And if you go to that site and log in, you can get the book, you can get the MP3s, and you can also get a lot of free information. Another good friend of mine, Ray Hignan, has something called Rank Makers. Rank Makers. And what this is, every single day, Ray is training in social media building, right? How to build your business online. So for those of you that are not comfortable, like reaching out to your friends and family, and maybe you're not comfortable just talking to people in general, if you sign up for Rank Makers, he gives daily live actionable items on how to reach out to people like Facebook and LinkedIn. And so between these two things, between Eric Worre's GoPro and Ray Hignan's Rank Makers, this is all the information you will ever need to be successful in network marketing. If you commit to those two things for all of 2021, and then you take daily measurable action, right? So here's the part where most people fail. They don't have a plan. They don't have it outlined on a calendar. Like, when are you working your Viv business? Once you look at your calendar, when is it blocked out on your calendar that you're working the business that you chose, right? If you had a restaurant, you would have certain hours of operation. Well, what happens in network marketing is people don't do that. They don't set up a plan. They don't say, when am I reaching out to people? When am I getting customers? They don't have, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour. They don't have a simple weekly business plan. So then they try to do it whenever it's convenient, right? They try to build a business when it's convenient. Then you find out it's never convenient, right? It's never convenient to build a new business. You have to use your calendar. When I work with people, it's like non-negotiable. If they're not willing to use their calendar and start to do time blocking, I won't work with them because they're not going to be successful. And it's the same thing with you guys. If you want to achieve something, you have to have a schedule, right? You have to have daily and weekly methods of operation, right? So when we talk about daily methods of operation, all we're talking about is prospecting. What I mean by that is, how many people a day are you asking, are you open to taking a look at this business model? Right? I could just sit on Facebook and reach out to random strangers, say, hey, listen, I see you're in real estate. We don't know each other, but I have a business model that might help you in your industry. Would you be open to taking a look at it? If not, no big deal. Like, that's the language. It's super, super simple. And you just send. And what you're going to find is certain people are open-minded, right? And they'll get back to you, and then you'll have a meeting. And if you can fall in love with the process, you guys are going to be very, very successful in 2021. All right. So daily method of operation, I would say to you guys, part-time, reach out to 20 people. Set a goal. It's not even a goal. It's just a task. It's very easy to reach out to 20 people. Anybody here can do that. You can go on LinkedIn. You can go on Facebook. You can sit down and you can reach out to 20 people and ask a question, right? That is a daily method of operation. On a weekly method of operation, and anybody here that was sponsored by me, you know that I drill this in, right? It's like Tuesday nights at 7:00, we have a presentation and a training, non-negotiable. Put that in your calendar, block out Tuesday nights. It's 1 hour, and then block out Saturday mornings, what we're doing here, right? Every Saturday morning, we come on at 10:00 and we do training, we do business building. We teach you what to say, how to say it. What I'm doing here today, sometimes we do mindset training. But if you can take those 2 hours a week, right? Tuesday nights at 7 and Saturday mornings at 10, block those out on your calendar. That is part of a weekly method of operation. See, now you're in business. Now you actually have a business plan that you're executing, right? And on Saturday mornings, what we normally do is we reach out in what I call tech splits, and you're trying to book like 3 to 5 appointments a week to show the Viv business model, to share a video, right? Listen, I see you're in daycare. We don't know each other, but I have something that might be able to help you. You have parents, there's children there, they all have cell phones, they have internet. I can show you how to kind of double dip on your existing clientele. All right, guys, so make sure you have a weekly method of operation. And the last thing I'll say is you should also have a yearly method of operation, right? Most of the people on my team, we all already have our tickets for GoPro. Next December, right? It was like $100, $97. We all already have tickets to the GoPro Mastery, to the training, that yearly method of operation. And if you're serious about your Viv business, you'll do the same thing. I think it's www.gopro2021, right? GoPro, GoPro 2021. I believe you can still go there and get tickets for $97 for next December, where you can learn from people earning 7 figures a month. Like, that's no joke when I tell you about that. That's not just a made up number. Most of the people teaching on that stage, they're earning at least $500,000 a month in the same industry that you're in. So I want you guys to think about that. And as we wrap up here, guys, I'm going to give you guys some paradigm shifting tools as well. And this is some of the stuff we teach our highest ticket clients: how to shift, how to change the programs that are stored in your subconscious mind that are causing all of your results, right? And one way to do that is to have a goal card, right? Remember that slide where I showed you that 1% of the population is earning 96% of the wealth? Well, here's another statistic. Less than 1% of this planet has a written goal. I want you to think about that. Less than 1% of the people on this planet can pull out of their pocket a goal, something that says, this is where I'm going, right? And those same people are controlling all the wealth. So if you want to get into the 1%, step one is to have a written goal of where you're going, right? And I would suggest you make a goal for V, but even the rest of the stuff in your life too. Have some goals, right? Have some goals. Another thing we work with is vision boards, right? A vision board. This is the board where you're putting pictures of where you're going. You're putting the results of your goals achieved, right? And then we have life scripts too. So again, guys, a goal card is a short paragraph, very, very clear. It's for the subconscious mind. You carry it in your pocket or your purse. You have it with you at all times. You read it 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night. Now, this is so simple. I could teach this to a 5-year-old, right? But most people won't do this. You'll watch this seminar, you'll watch this recording, and it's, oh, that's a good idea, I'm going to get a goal, but then you won't do it. I caution you, and I hope for you guys in 2021, don't overlook this one. Write out your goal, have it on a card, and read it 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night. And just commit to that for all of 2021 and watch what happens. What you're really doing, believe it or not, is you're brainwashing yourself. You're changing the programs that are in your subconscious mind through repetition, right? And like I said, less than 1% of the population has a written goal. Most people go through their entire life not ever achieving much of anything because they have no direction. And it's not their fault either. We're not taught direction. We're not taught goal setting in like grade school and high school. So guys, from here on in, and I would do this today, right? Get a little index card, get a piece of paper, get something, write out what your goal is, and just do these very simple things. All right. A vision board, a lot of people think, oh, vision boards are like unicorns and rainbows. Like, that's cute. You have a vision board. Guys, we think in pictures. Human beings, we think in pictures. We don't think in words. We don't think in writing. Those are ways to translate images to the mind. And everything I'm talking to you here, I'm painting pictures on the screen of your mind with words, right? So this is the result of your goal achieved. Vision board is a result of your goal achieved. And they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, don't they? Well, what does that mean? Think about that. We have these cute little phrases, the picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, if that's the case, what is on your vision board? Right? A vision board reinforces the goal to the subconscious mind. Every time you see it, right? Back in my house, I have a 4-foot by 8-foot vision board. It's an entire wall. And when I'm traveling, I have right over here, I get it right here. I have a vision book. And it's always open. This is what I was looking at today, right? It's just pictures. I have these pictures of where I'm going. And because I travel so much, I decided to have a vision book that I could carry with me. So I'm always looking at pictures when I'm doing seminars and webinars. And I want you to think about this, guys. Back in the prehistoric days, and cavemen were walking around, right? They were drawing on pictures on walls. If you go way back, there's hieroglyphics, there's etchings, there's drawings. And they had these drawings of like the big hunt, right? Animals and bow and arrows and spears and stuff. And what I want you to realize is these primitive human beings, they weren't drawing pictures of what happened, right? They didn't go hunt and then draw pictures, right? They were drawing on the walls before they hunted. They were calling into existence what they wanted to happen. This is like early day praying, right? So we think in pictures. Since the beginning of man, we always have thought in pictures. That's why a vision board is so important. And there's a picture of my vision board at home, like I was telling you, right? 4 feet by 8 feet. And now what I did, I took all of those pictures and I have them here in my book. All right, guys. So if you don't have a vision board, get a vision board. And I always say, small vision board, small vision. Get a big one. If you have a home office or something, clear off a wall, get a big board and start to put pictures of your goals. Maybe it's a house, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a charity, whatever that is for you. Print out pictures, go on Google, and have an image of where you're going. I promise you it'll change everything. All right, guys. So the last thing I'm going to talk about here is something we call the life script. And this is single-handedly the most important thing that we teach people. This is the written and spoken story of your life as if, right? The feeling of the wish fulfilled, right? So my life script is about 25 minutes long. It's me speaking to myself about all of these things that I want, these companies, these businesses. It's 25 minutes long, and it's. I started off with like affirmations on a notepad, just speaking things into existence. But this is the written and spoken story of your life as if it's already done. So fast forward, right? You're earning 100,000 a month. What are you doing with it? What does that look like? And if you don't know, then your subconscious mind hasn't accepted the idea. I want you to think about that. If you literally don't know what you would do with that kind of money, it means you're not thinking about it. And how would we ever achieve something that we're not thinking about? Right? So this life script is to condition your mind to think about your goal as if it's already done. And like I said, you're actually brainwashing yourself, right? But you're doing it for the first time in your life in your favor. You're putting programs into your mind about where you're going. All right, guys. And we call this the actor's technique, right? The life script is actually called the actor's technique. I want you to think for a minute. Think about your favorite actor or actress. Who's your favorite actor? Who's your favorite actress? And I want you to think about that for a minute. And then think about the last movie they were in. And when you're watching your favorite actor or actress, you don't see them anymore, right? You see the character. Like I like Will Smith. I think he's a brilliant actor. I like Kevin Spacey. Robin Williams, I thought was an amazing actor. He's actually a really good example of what I'm talking about here. When you see these people, you don't see them, you see the character. And think about what an actor does. An actor takes a script of some other character and they read it over and over and over and over again, right? What they're doing is they're actually putting programs into the subconscious mind to behave differently and act like somebody else. So what I'm going to say to you guys is act like a billionaire, act like a millionaire, act like you're already earning 100,000 a month or whatever it is you guys want. And that's what a life script is. It's actually a script of your life, like an actor would do to become a different character. So we're doing the exact same thing that your favorite actor would do. And I want you guys to really think about this. If you guys remember Heath Ledger, brilliant young actor, 28 years old, committed suicide right after the Joker role. He played the Joker in the Batman movies. And think about that, right? He read this dark, depressing script over and over and over. And from what I understand, when he was acting as the Joker, um, he didn't come out of character for the entire year that he was acting. He just stayed in character. Like he really got into the role. Well, it was such a depressing, dark role. I don't think he ever came out of it. After the movie, he ended up committing suicide, overdosing on pills, because I don't think he could disconnect from the script that he read to himself over and over again. Same thing with Robin Williams, right? Why would somebody like that commit suicide? Somebody who's, I mean, multi-millionaire, family, friends, like has the world right in his hand. Why would somebody like that commit suicide? And what I think, guys, is with some of these actors, they read so many different roles, so many different scripts, they become so many different people. I think they disconnect from who they are, right? Think about that over time. If you were just acting like different people all the time, how would you have reality on who you are? right? So the life script is very, very powerful, guys. And as I wrap up here, I want you guys to take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture. And I want you guys to type into the chat too. I see you got Denzel Washington, your favorite actor, huh? I want you to take a look at this picture, guys. And in all of recorded history, throughout all of history and humankind, there was only one tribe in all of the world. Every time they did a rain dance, it rained, right? There's been thousands and thousands of tribes throughout history all over the world that have done rain dances. And there's only one that was ever recorded. Every single time they did a rain dance, it rained. And I want you to type into the chat and think about this for a minute. Why this one tribe, right? All these other tribes, I mean, hundreds of thousands of tribes throughout history, and they could never make it rain every time. It was more of a random thing. But this one tribe, every time they did a rain dance, right? Every time they did a rain dance, it rained. Looks like Eugenia got it. Love the tribe. Yeah, exactly. They danced until it rained, guys. They danced until it rained, whether it's 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months. They danced until it rained. That's network marketing 101. It's actually life 101 too, by the way. That's not a network marketing thing. Don't try something like, oh, I'll try that for a couple of weeks. Let me see if it works. Don't see if it works. Make it work. Make a decision. Choose to make it work. There's nothing that's going to come into your mind for an idea that you can't do. In other words, you're not going to get an idea for something that you can't be successful at, right? So if you decided to have Viv as a vehicle for 2021, don't try it for 3 weeks, right? You want to dance until it rains. If you do certain things in a certain way, if you study in the industry, if you show up for Tuesdays, you show up for Saturdays, right? And you take action, you're guaranteed to be successful. All right, guys, hopefully you've got some value out of this. I love teaching mindset, and I love just kind of sharing what we've learned in mindset in general. Hopefully you get some value out of this. What I want to do now